I wish you'd go to sleep and never wake up.
Oh. Avery, honey, nice things are so easy.
They ever so much as see us together, you're dead.
Trying to cut your fingers off and shove them up your nose.
Sinotco is shaky. That's bad for Roscoe Hayward, isn't it?
Well, it's not exactly great for the bank either.
Have you any idea what it's like in prison? A new convict. They gang up on him.
Don't start icing the champagne yet. You're still a long way from the presidency of this bank.
Last week on the Moneychangers.
From your bank, I would expect a line of credit of $50 million. Oh, at prime, of course.
What I'd have to review is our bank's legal limitation under federal law.
Oh, hell, Roscoe, there are ways around that.
It's fraudulent.
I object to that word fraudulent.
Roscoe, you know as well as I do that once the bank's money is in any of these subsidiaries, George Quartermain can and will move it around any way he wants. What we're trying to do is circumvent the law.
Are you threatening us?
Just warning you. Roscoe Hayward is the star of the party.
Well, maybe Quartermain bribed him.
Maybe.
I'll show you.
Hey, girls, anybody see George?
You walk out the gate, clock starts. Tick, tick, tick. But you can pay back, right?
I don't have much choice, do I?
No, man. None at all.
Please be quiet. We can't accomplish anything acting like a mob.
Okay, lady lawyer, why don't you tell us what we can accomplish by being nice and polite?
Now, I've got a plan, and we can move that bank off the dime with a whole new kind of demonstration.
However it looks to you, the fact is we are here to put money into your bank.
Well, that's what you mean by an act of hope.
We figure that when you realize how we feel, maybe you'll change your mind.
And if we don't?
It'll be a clear case of discrimination.
Are you threatening a riot?
Promising.
Now, we will not give in to a mob.
Stop sounding like a small-town sheriff.
I say that your affair with this woman while your wife remains gravely ill.
Don't talk of my wife.
I say that your affair with this woman takes precedence over the interests of this bank.
I was betrayed.
What in God's name do you think those people were? They're betrayed every day. I know I work there, but at least at night I get to go home.
Which is where you ought to go right now. Just don't tell me that you're sorry.
Mr. Vandervoort, there's a tremendous question unanswered these past few months. Why would anybody want to blow up this bank?
It's a wonder more of them don't get blown up.
Beg pardon?
Well, I'll stand by that statement.
An FMA vice president has just stated surprised that more banks don't get bombed. Rather astounding statement, sir. Don't you like banks?
When they're deaf, dumb, and blind to the needs of the community that they serve.
And FMA is guilty of that?
We were, and I hope that can stay in the past tense. We simply weren't responsive when we were asked for help.
Could that have been the motive for the bombing?
We promised the people of this town more housing. Well, we didn't keep that promise.
Why not?
Profit got in the way.
But aren't banks in business for profit?
Certainly, but there's a line between profit and naked greed. We bankers don't pay enough attention to our customers in the community that we operate in.
And your solution?
No solution, an approach. The people. We've got to help the people get what they need. Housing, loans, financial advice, and they'll help us get what we want, profits.
Well, then you might have the opportunity to put that approach into action, won't you? I understand FMA is going to have a new president pretty soon.
Mr. Coogan, what I said are beliefs, not campaign oratory.
Be that as it may, the new president will be...
No comment.
Well, it's no secret, but...
Thank you, Mr. Coogan. It's been a pleasure.
Well, then I hope you get it. Because you sound like some real kind of banker to me. This is Cal Coogan, and where it's at. We're at today is Roselli Plaza, where you met a banker with some really new ideas. Okay, that's a wrap.
Congratulations.
And what?
Your divorce from reality. It just became final.
Woman, do you sense a note of disapproval?
Are you nuts? Giving out an interview like that. Don't you want to be president of FMA?
Come on, Edwina, of course.
Well, how do you think the board of directors is going to react to all that stuff?
Some will get mad, and some will start thinking, I hope.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Vandervoort. Nice show.
Mr. Wainwright, message for you.
Oh, thank you.
Trouble?
Excuse me. Thank you very much.
I'll try to catch you on the 6 o'clock news. Say, wasn't Roscoe supposed to be on that show with you?
Discuss our different views of banking, but he couldn't make it. He had to go out of town on business.
Well, I think he chickened out at the prospect of facing your inflexible logic.
My rapier-like wit.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Enjoy your stay.
Trick or treat?
All this time? I missed you.
We just flew in from Amsterdam on Tuesday. I missed you, too.
It's fantastic. You getting all this time off? I'm lucky, aren't I?
Rossi, luck has nothing to do with it. You call, and here I am. Let's have a little drink.
No more, no thanks.
Oh, yes.
No thanks, no.
Oh, Rossi, please.
No, come on.
Oh,
No,
come
no,
on,
no more.
Rossi,
You know I
just
don't. You know I
for
don't.
us. For us. To your wife. She just doesn't know what she's missing.
To us.
To us.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
You all right?
Yep.
Your Sunday throat?
Yes. Oh, come on, come on, cut it out. Heartless, cruel. You know I'm not.
Well, you better just start getting used to that. You know, my daddy used to say that.
What did Daddy used to say?
He used to say, Avery, honey, nice things are so easy to get used to. Hello? Yes? Yes, he is. It's for you. George Quartermain.
Quartermain?
In person.
How does he know I'm here?
Well, I told him, honey.
Why?
Well, you're my beau, but he's my boss, and he likes to know where I am.
Yes?
Hello, Roscoe. Is that you?
Yes? Where are you calling from?
The Bahamas. What difference does it make? I have some very good news about Sinatco. Quarterly earnings statements. You'll read about it in the papers tomorrow.
You mean you called me here to tell me about that?
Oh, interrupted you, did I?
No.
Oh, well, better luck next time. As a matter of fact, I was expecting some slight expression of gratitude. Nothing excessive, mind you. Perhaps a wild whoop of joy or...
Gratitude for what?
Didn't Averill give you an envelope from him?
Just a minute. You know anything about an envelope?
Oh, mea culpa. I got it right here. It's all your fault, you know. I forget things when I'm around you.
George? What is this?
Well, as a matter of fact, I feel it's high time that you join our little investment group. It's a small private group called Q Investments. So I've allotted 2,000 shares to you, which we will regard as fully paid for.
Well, I appreciate your thoughtfulness, George.
They're nominee certificates, endorsed in blank. More discreet that way.
Oh, I don't think I could possibly accept this.
Well, why not, for heaven's sake?
Well, I mean, there's an ethical area here, George. After all, I am empowered to make loans on my own signature.
Well, Roscoe, I'm not about to ask you for a loan. Don't be a damn fool. This is the real world.
Yes, but these shares are worth 20,000 real dollars.
Well, if it'll make you feel any better, we'll say that the shares are in return for your investment advice.
That's pretty high-priced advice.
I like to do things for my friends, Roscoe. Don't throw a favor back in my face.
All right, George, I'll put the shares away and I'll think about it.
Attaboy, Tiger. See you soon.
Always working overtime.
We never close.
I called your apartment.
Coffee?
Thanks.
The donuts are stale.
Always thought it was the best restaurant in town.
I saw your interview on TV.
And?
You photographed well.
Thank you.
The sound was something else.
Yeah. Edwina thought my opinion of banks might have caused a mass coronary on the board. So far, only silence.
It's quiet down here, too.
Have they given up?
Some of them have. Some of the others are strong.
look fine, Myrtle.
You didn't shave.
8 weeks. But who's counting? I am. I've missed you. Very much.
I think I may have forgotten how to make that soup you like.
With saffron. Of course, you like the color. Would you make it again for me? I know I love it. Wasted.
Don't remind me.
I thought of you every day.
Funny, I was just going to say the same thing.
I saw you, you know, at the courthouse giving that little lawyer you know what. I spied on you like a love-struck schoolboy.
I remember seeing you one morning when you got caught in the rain without your coat or umbrella.
You were spying on me?
I was the one that was disguised as a mailbox. Did you say soup?
Soup?
Your favorite kind?
Clam chowder?
No. Mine with saffron.
I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about.
Oh.
Hurry, Stella, come on.
Mama, I made a magic castle.
Que lindo, mi cielo. We'll put it in the oven with the pie, okay?
Okay. Shall I get it?
No.
Juanita.
Who is it?
Miles Easton.
Who?
Miles Easton from the bank. Please, Juanita, I have to talk to you. Please let me in.
Come to the light so I can see you. Mother of God. I thought you were in prison.
I got out a couple of days ago and I'm on parole.
Who are you?
Never mind, Emercito. Go into the bedroom and close the door, and I'll be in a minute, okay? What do you want?
May I sit down?
You're not a friend of mine. You're not a guest here.
I know that. I'm just tired, that's all.
All right, sit then.
Thank you.
You were going to let them blame me, weren't you, for the money you stole?
Yes, I guess so.
You guess so?
I'm not sure of anything anymore. I've been asking myself why I'd act like that. See, all my life, ever since I can remember, I've been able to talk my way out of trouble. When I was little, my poor mother, she'd believe anything I'd tell her. At school, same deal. You get to thinking it's easy.
So?
So when I got into this gambling thing, well, they were a kind of people I'd never met before. I had a system, and it worked for a while, and then it went sour, and I started losing. So I started doubling and losing. I started writing IOUs. And Then one day, they sent this guy to see me. They wanted their money. He gave me a sample of what would happen if I didn't pay. Well, I've never been very brave about pain, so I started taking money from the dormant accounts. All the time betting more and more, waiting for my luck to change. I was stealing, I was borrowing from loan sharks, It was like somebody else was in my body and I was standing over the side watching this crazy person doing these crazy things.
Listen. What's done is done. It doesn't matter.
It matters to me. All this time, ever since I was up in the joint, I've wanted to tell you how sorry I am for what I did to you. And I'm ashamed, and I always will be.
Please, please don't cry. Who am I to make anyone cry?
Don't let it bother you. I seem to cry pretty easily these days.
Please, please sit down. Come on, please. Really. Listen, would you like a glass of wine?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. When did you eat last?
If it's an invitation, I accept it.
Okay. Dinner in 30 minutes.
He wouldn't even talk to me at FMA. The guy at First Federal almost had me thrown out. Midwestern State told me to forget it. I don't want to seem paranoid, but after 3 days of rejections, you get the feeling you're not exactly catnip to the financial establishment in this town.
What are you gonna do? How are you gonna eat?
I don't know. I met this guy in prison. His name's LaRocca. He said to come see him.
For what?
For a job.
What kind of job?
The kind of job where they pay you money so you can eat.
Isn't that against the parole to see other ex-convicts?
I've got to find work somehow.
Maybe I've got an idea.
What?
I'll tell you in the morning. Good night.
Good night.
Wainwright.
Oh, thank you. Go figure women.
I want to thank you for seeing me.
I'm not doing anything for you. I've owed Juanita a favor for a long while. This is it. Payday.
Well, may I say something?
Anything but thanks.
Do you have a job for me or not?
Maybe.
They all look the same to me.
2 of them are counterfeits.
Well, they're very good ones.
Yeah, that's our problem. And nobody puts out a product like that without an organization. And I mean a big one. With money behind it, machinery, a distribution system.
Well, where do I come in?
I'm authorized to put one undercover man in the street.
Me?
It pays $600 a month. As far as you're concerned, it's out of my pocket, and you will have no connection with the bank.
Okay. Okay, I'll take the job.
Hell, not so fast. Something you have to know first.
What?
There was somebody else on this job. That's what happened to him. Now, I'm offering you this job against my better judgment. Partly because Juanita insisted, and partly because I need somebody in there. But I have to be honest with you, I'm recommending you don't take it.
When do I start?
You sure?
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to sit here and beg?
Hundreds be all right?
What do I do?
Juanita tells me you've got some connections from the joint.
One, I know a guy named La Roca.
Start there.
Okay.
Oh, one more thing. The way you went after this guy before you didn't keep any secrets. That means they know about me, the bank, what he was doing, everything.
So?
If they ever so much as see us together, you're dead. What we're going to need is a conduit of some kind. Some means of communication for information, instructions, and so on.
Huh. What about Juanita?
I'll ask her, see what she says about it.
I appreciate this, Wainwright.
You don't owe me a thing, kid. You're asking me, you're sticking your butt in a buzzsaw.
Groceries? What kind of groceries?
Ah. Well, let's see. Bottle of wine. Canned oink. I wonder what this is. Wonder how this got in there. Necklace for a little girl. Grocer must have put it in by mistake. You see a little girl around anywhere? No, I don't either. Oh, well, we can always take it back.
No, don't be here.
And so, what have you got for me?
A kiss.
Oh, what is this?
That's a necklace for a big girl.
Oh, some grocery store you go to.
You haven't seen the half of it.
They're so beautiful. Look.
Something nice to
Oh,
keep the
that's
chill off
pretty,
those
Mom.
pretty shoulders.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh, that's
And we
pretty.
have your basic proud Spanish beauty comb for the flamenco
Flamenco.
dancing.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no, we have some
Wait a
light. Oh,
minute.
no.
Would you strike oil? What kind of job is this you got?
Well, didn't Wainwright tell you?
He said it was secret. That's all, that I'm a go-between. He's having a phone put in tomorrow.
Didn't he mention that it could be dangerous for you?
He mentioned it. It's okay.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Oh, there was something else. I put it in the drawer in the kitchen.
H.E. Lathrop.
Here's what he said. The first 3 letters plus the last letter spell the word help. He said if you're onto something hot and need support, or if you're in some kind of trouble, use the card in a store.
Make a purchase.
More than $100 worth. You know the computers at the Key Charge Authorization Center?
Sure.
They're programmed for the card. Anytime it's presented, Wainwright will be contacted immediately. Will you stay?
Oh, I tried to reach you on the phone to save you a useless trip.
What happened?
Alex, she's in no immediate danger.
Yeah, but something happened.
You'll see for yourself. Celia, Alex is here. Celia? What did you tell him, Doctor? What could I? What words could possibly help a man who has to carry such a monstrous cross the rest of his life?
Celia? Can you hear me? Celia? I loved you. I loved you, Celia, the way you were. The way you used to be alive. But you're not anymore. You're dead. You belong in another world, but I'm still living in this one. I won't give it up. I have needs, desires. Prove you're still alive. Say something. I put you here, that's what you're thinking, isn't it? Then scream at me. Hate me. Because I hate you.
God help me. I wish you'd go to sleep and never wake up.
Alex? Alex? I waited for you. I was worried when I called and there was no answer.
Told her I hated her.
What?
I just told my wife that I hated her, wish she were dead.
You didn't mean that.
Yes, I did. Of course, she couldn't hear it.
Was there any reaction at all?
None. Statue. Solved. Nothing can hurt her now.
Alex, you've got to stop blaming yourself for her condition.
So driving back, flashed through my mind. Suppose she gets well.
What do you mean?
A new drug, some miracle. Spontaneous remission of cancer. And one morning, Dr. McCartney walks into her room and Celia smiles and says, "Good morning, doctor. I'd like to fix my hair and put on my prettiest dress and see my husband."
Margot Bracken loves
was Alex Vandervoort.
Margot Bracken should have a husband. Margot Bracken should have a child. How long can you wait?
All we can do is take one day at a time.
Hey. Anybody?
This is a private club, Buster. You ain't a member, out.
Wasn't anybody in the lobby?
I'm looking for a friend of mine. A guy named La Roca.
Never heard of him.
But he said...
Out. Hey, didn't you hear? I said out.
Hey, Miles. It's cool, Patsy. This is a buddy of mine. So you made it, huh?
Yeah.
Beautiful. How long you been out?
Close to a week.
How's the job market?
There isn't any.
Baby, baby, baby. I told you to come see Jules.
Look, I'm beat. You said something about helping me.
Help you want? Help you get. Come on.
Where?
You're gonna meet a nice fellow named Tony Bear.
You gotta look at it this way. You owe me $6,000. What are we gonna do about that?
The kid wants to make it good.
Yeah, that's great. You keep a set of books?
The kid worked in a bank.
Hey, will you let him answer?
Yeah, I'm an expert bookkeeper.
Bookkeeper, huh? That's the only word in the English language with 3 sets of double letters in a row. Did you know that?
No.
It's true. My kid tells me these things. All right, you're gonna work here. Room and board plus $5 a week. Everything else goes to the loan and the interest. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And I'll tell you one more thing. If I catch your hand in the till, I'm gonna cut your fingers off and shove them up your nose. And if you think that's just conversation, try me one time.
Yes, sir.
Go on, get out of here. I'm not sure I trust that kid 100%. Keep an eye on him.
Hey, listen. You gotta be patient. Good things take time. Oh, no, it's 2:30.
I'm sorry.
For what? Listen. I like you. I like to be with you. The rest will happen when it happens.
Maybe it does, maybe not.
What do you mean?
I mean that people can get bent out of shape in this world, and there's no way to bend them back. Have you any idea what it's like in prison?
There are things it's better to forget.
A new convict. A fish. He's fair game. Do you understand? They gang up on him. 10 of them. 20. In the shower, any place.
Why are you putting yourself through this? There's no point in it.
I'm trying to tell you what it's like up there. The system. You go along or you go under.
It doesn't matter. Don't you understand? You have nothing to be ashamed of. The people who run such a place should be ashamed. You got a right to survive, no matter what it takes. But it's all over with. And now it's time to sleep.
Now look, I've known boys go to prison before, what they're like before and after. Now it happens. We've kissed, but well, what are you doing to help? Break something. Let him fix it. And the lids on applesauce jars, let him twist them off.
Oh, I see.
And the garbage. You taking out the garbage yet?
No.
Well, that's another thing this man's worth. Now, women were meant to do a lot of things, but taking out the garbage is not one of them. You make him take the garbage out, and you'll see. He'll be on the road to recovery.
There he is.
He's a nice-looking boy.
Yeah, a little thin.
Yeah, don't make it a whole can of garbage. Now, you go along and have a good time, and don't worry about your little girl. She'll be fine.
Are you sure it's all right, Beth?
Honey, one more ain't gonna make no difference. Go on.
Ooh. Oh, no. Wow. How can it be time to get up? Miles? Miles? Cariño?
Hi.
Hi. It's time to get up. I'll put some coffee on.
Okay. Miss Nunez,
Yes?
would you mind stepping back into my office for a moment?
Con mucho gusto, señor.
America has ruined its own and the world's money system through politics, greed, and debt. The collapse of currencies isn't new, you know. Our own century is littered with examples, and each traceable to the same cause. The syphilis, oh, excuse me, ladies, of inflation.
And what about the leprosy of corporate greed, Louis?
An entirely predictable response. I really don't know what you see in this radical broad, Alex.
She's just fantastic in the hay.
Cover your ears, Mother.
What's this? Dorsey newsletter.
Just a little advertising. That little band makes my cigars a business expense. So, every time I smoke a stogie, I have the pleasure of knowing it's on Uncle Sam.
3 cheers for Louis Dorsey, the kind of man that made our nation great.
Why shouldn't I take advantage of the law of the land? I don't notice your clients down that law office you run refusing any government handouts.
May I ask you a very personal question, Louis?
Yes, and the answer is twice a night, 6 nights a week. Even the Lord rested on Sunday.
I'm not interested in your sex life. I'd like to know how much income tax you paid.
Filing income tax is a form of sex for Louis, except he does it to the government.
How right can you be? And to answer your question, I paid 0, zilch, absolutamente nada.
How the rich get richer.
All right, you two. Break it up.
Our little peacemaker. Tell me something, Alex. When are you going to move my little turtle dove out of that bank and into the executive tower where she belongs?
Now, that's quite enough of that, Louis. You don't invite people over for dinner and then hustle them for jobs.
I most certainly do, especially when I've broken out the Claude de Bougeot.
Oh, now stop, darling. You really are embarrassing me.
Well, as a matter of fact, I've been planning to bring Edwina up to the tower for quite a while now.
Good for you. It's about time you had a woman in top management.
Well, whether I'll be able to swing it or not depends on what happens when Jerry Patterson resigns.
What are the actual chances of your getting the presidency, Alex?
So-so.
They were a lot better before those blind items started appearing in the local gossip columns.
Have you seen those things?
A lot of people have.
Personally, I've never been interested in gossip columns. What do they say?
Blind items. What married banker and radical miss who runs a storefront law office kind of junk?
They may be junk, but they're very, very damaging to Alex.
Where do they get that stuff?
Somehow I sense Harold Austin's fine Italian hand. The married part, that's really dirty pool.
How is Celia? Do you ever see her?
Yes, I go out to the sanitarium once a week.
Does she know you?
Sometimes.
Has there been any improvement at all?
No.
Alex, I'm going to talk to you like a Dutch uncle.
You never pass the physical.
You've got some strong supporters, but you're losing them. Now, even though you and Margot aren't living together, your relationship is becoming an open secret, and it's not going down very well. Not for a bank president.
What are you suggesting?
Divorce Celia? Marry Margot?
Edwina, be my friend and drop it.
Alex.
Edwina, please.
Well, all I can say is your chances of being elected president of FMA are getting worse by the day.
Well, they haven't been that good, to tell you the truth, ever since Roscoe Hayward brought in that Sonatco loan.
Sonatco?
Yeah. Why do you say it like that?
I'm recommending that my client sell in my upcoming newsletter.
Sell?
I've got a copy here someplace. You can take it along with you if you like.
Did you say sell?
Immediately, at market.
But why, Louis? You've had it for years as a long-term hold.
A precaution. I'm uneasy about Quartermain. There's a rumor that he was in Washington shopping for a Lockheed-type subsidy. Too many other rumors.
Well, there are rumors about any company.
Negative information. And it adds up to shoal water ahead, so I'm advising my people to get out.
On rumors?
Call it an instinct. Danger. And I act on it. And do you know what I would do if I were you?
Find a first-rate financial investigator?
Exactly. Keep it. It's an advance copy of my newsletter.
If Sonatco is shaky, that's bad for Roscoe Hayward, isn't it?
Well, it's not exactly great for the bank either. We loaned those people $50 million.
But good for Alex, right?
If an investigation were to reveal that Sonatco's in trouble, it could knock Roscoe right out of the box.
I know an investigator, Vernon Jacks. He's kind of a wild man, but he's really terrific. Why don't I have him call you?
No, it's not necessary.
It's your chance to prove that Hayward was wrong, isn't it?
Well, let me think about it.
Did you put this disgusting insult to intelligence on my desk?
It's an advance copy of Dorsey's newsletter.
Well, Dorsey might be a friend of yours, but to me, he's a conceited ignoramus.
Oh, come on, Roscoe. He's conceited, but he's no ignoramus.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion.
Some of his viewpoints are well worth reading.
Oh, are they? Well, let me tell you, he's exactly 180 degrees off course as far as Sonatco's concerned.
You still think Sonatco's sound?
I'm sure that nothing would delight you more than to see a setback for Sonatco and me.
Now, why would you...
Come on! Don't try to deny that. I've seen more than enough of your petty connivings, your doubt castings, like passing around this garbage.
This is not garbage, and we ought to take a good look at Sonatco.
I'm telling you now to cease. Sonatco was and is a progressive, sound company with high earnings and good management. Getting the Sonatco account, much as you may have been jealous of it personally, was my achievement. My business. Now I'm warning you. Stay out of it.
Margot, that financial investigator you were talking about, get him.
Answered. I'll see that these people are served, all right? Hi, Vern. I'm glad you get here so quickly.
Get that way when I smell blood.
How's the Housing Commission's coffin coming?
Oh, nailing away.
Good.
Think he's got something, huh?
Mm-hmm. And I think you're just the man to prove it for him. Miss Bracken from Mr. Vandervoort, please. Hi, Alex. He's here. Do you want me to send him over? What? Oh, that's a good idea. Where and when? The Hero hot dog stand on 6th in about an hour.
Didn't you say he was vice president of a bank?
Can you?
Can't wait.
It's a date.
Figure you'd recognize me without a carnation. Alex Vandervoort.
Vernon Jacks. You're right. I didn't have any trouble spotting you. Well, what do you recommend?
Mr. Jacks. Nothing. It's just a good place for a clandestine meeting.
You're right. It wouldn't have done for me to have been spotted down at the bank.
I like you already. This'll get you going.
This investigation is personal, then.
I couldn't very well ask for an appropriation.
But how far do you want me to go?
All the way.
Well, now, just suppose, that I come across something that you wish I'd never found.
I'll be the judge.
No, you won't.
I beg your pardon?
Your friend Margot's an attorney. Ask her about my situation, if I find any evidence of criminal activity, and conceal it.
All the way. We'll let the evidence speak for itself.
Mr. Quartermain on 1.
Thank you. Hello, George.
First for the important stuff. A certain long-legged brunette says hello. And as far as the trivia goes, I'm flying back to Amsterdam this afternoon.
Amsterdam? What's in Amsterdam?
Oh, lots of things. Mainly a chance to pick up a block of stock for a private Q Investments group.
Well, that's fine, George. That's fine.
The thing is, I'm going to need a fast $500,000.
$500,000? But I thought...
Listen, I can't say too much over this open line. But this is much too good a thing to let pass. It's bound to be a high flyer, so trust me.
Well, I do, of course. But the bank will need details.
Oh, you'll get them. By courier tomorrow. And Roscoe, don't forget, you're one of us now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you dressed?
Come in. Come in. How was church?
The Blaylocks asked for you.
Oh, yes.
Are you planning to spend the entire Sunday lurking up here like Hector in his tent?
I'm not lurking. Just feel a little queasy, that's all.
Well, I'm off with Phil and Susie then. We thought we might take a look at those Chagalls this afternoon. And then drop by the Côte d'Azur for a bite.
All right, enjoy yourself. Give Phil and Susie my best.
Your best, yes. Well, you really do look a bit off your feet. You have for the past week. Ever since your California trip, as a matter of fact.
Patience. Mother Courage speaking.
April? Is that you? It's Roscoe. Roscoe Hayward.
Rossi. Oh, Rossi, it's wonderful to hear from you. Are you in town?
No, I'm at home.
What a lovely surprise.
April, I've got to see you. It's rather urgent. Think you can manage that?
Why, yes, I think so. Let me have a look. Well, I could fly down tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be fine. Look, call me the moment you get in,
Rossi, I'm dying to see you.
Hello.
Come here, I could eat you up.
Well, you look beautiful. You always do.
Let's have a little champagne to prolong the moment.
No, wait a minute. Why can't we just take the champagne, put it in the bedroom, and have it there?
We will. But first, darling, let's just get the business out of the way, okay?
Business? You funny thing. What business? What business are you talking about?
I've got it all written down over here.
You've got it all written down? What do you mean you've got it all written down?
Will you go and sit down over there? Afterwards, we'll have all the time in the world for each other. Now, there's the airfare plus the taxis. That's 120. The rate on the suite is 85. The champagne plus tip was 25. So let's make it $250 and $250 for April. So let's just call it 5.
You mean you want me to give you $500?
Well, I know it's a lot of money, darling, but I'm a lot of woman.
Forgive me if I'm just a little dense, but I don't understand.
Well, what is it that you don't understand, darling?
The money.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that George had told you. The whole list has been canceled.
List? What list?
The Sunatco list. Well, everything was always charged to them. The travel, entertainment, my time.
You're telling me that I'm on some sort of VIP list that gets free treatment?
Right.
And that list has been canceled?
Right.
Any idea why?
Well, I'll tell you something. A lot of very strange things have been going on here nowadays. In fact, I was going to ask you, I was wondering if I should sell my shares.
Sunatco?
Well, I've only got 500. I know that's not very much for somebody like you, but to me, it represents about 1/3 of my savings. Here.
No. You should tell me about Sunatco. And what other strange things have been happening?
You mean besides the cutback on entertaining?
Yes, anything. I mean, what makes you think you ought to sell your shares?
Well, let me ask you something. Now, have you talked to George Quartermain in the last week or so?
No, not since he came back from Amsterdam.
Well, nobody else has either. And do you remember Moonbeam, the little Oriental girl?
Oh, yes.
Well, she tells me that Georgie has gone to Costa Rica and may stay there, and that before he left, he sold a lot of his own Sunatco shares. So what do you think?
What?
Should I sell?
No. 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 Sunatco is solid. You just hang on to your shares. Funny thing. Sunatco's solid. Good as gold.
Oh, that's terrific.
I don't believe it.
That bad?
I had no idea it was like this.
In a simple declarative sentence, Sinatco is running out of money.
Well, how can that be? They own half the world.
Well, for the last 3 years, they've been surviving on prestige and credit, borrowing to pay off debts and borrowing again to pay off those debts.
And it actually works?
Works fine. Until they run out of places to borrow. When their commercial paper starts meeting investor resistance, the whole Chinese system...
How do grown-up businessmen get sucked into deals like this?
Figures get hidden.
Look at this. How'd they expect to get away with it? The Horizon Land Company.
A case in point. A Sinatco subsidiary. Now, they own big tracts of wilderness in Texas and Alaska. Now, what they've been doing is selling to speculators at very low down payments. Now, on 2 deals, final payments totaling $80 million are due 40 years from now. But they may never get paid. But on the balance sheet, that shows up as $80 million current earnings. And that's just one little razzle-dazzle.
How reliable are those figures?
Very reliable.
Can I go to bat with this?
There's nothing in that report that hasn't been checked through at least 2 sources. Mostly 3.
I feel like I just walked through a plate glass window.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. You did a hell of a job.
I wouldn't hesitate too long in acting on this, Mr. Vanderpoort. You know, Sinatco still looks pretty healthy on the outside, but it's going. And when it goes, it'll go fast.
We can save something if we move faster.
What you're asking is ridiculous.
I'm not asking, I'm telling you, do it.
You're insisting I take arbitrary action without substantial reasons.
The reasons are here.
I'd like to study this report in a less agitated environment.
Well, there's no time. The New York stock market has already been open for 50 minutes. Now listen to me, Jerome.
No, you listen to me. I'm not going to be stampeded in this matter.
Our trust department is holding 123,000 shares of Sinatco, which we bought on an average of 52. The stock is dropping.
I'm aware of that.
Well, if we're going to salvage anything at all out of it, you've got to give the order to sell.
I'll call a special meeting.
There's no time. Now pick up that phone and order our trust department to sell Sinatco.
What the devil is this? Who do you think you are storming in here giving commands?
I'll tell you who I am, Jerome. I'm the one who warned you and warned the board against in-depth involvement with Sinatco. Don't you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Sinatco's going down. If we don't act, the bank can go right down with it.
Get me Mitchell and Trust. Well, break in. I hope you know what you're doing, Alex.
I hope so, too.
Mitch, Jerome Patterson, listen carefully. I want you to give a sell order immediately on all the Sinatco stock we hold. Now, that's final. What are our chances of getting out of this in one piece?
It all depends upon how long Sinatco manages to stay afloat. If they can survive a couple of months, we just might make it. Meanwhile, we better start calling in our $50 million loan. And you've got to talk to Roscoe about it right now.
I'd rather you did it.
Oh, this is a first-rate job of work. Where'd you get it?
Well, you don't seem exactly flabbergasted.
I'm not. Far from it. I've been asking a few questions myself. Only this morning I drafted a memo advising Mitchell to lighten up on Sinatco.
Well, that's not a bad idea, but the question is, what about the loan?
Oh, it's a demand loan. We can call it in at any time.
We can? 50 million? Not even a sound company keeps that kind of cash in the till.
Well, we'll see what they do have. Sinatco's in bad trouble, but the sky isn't falling yet, at least not on us.
I'm glad you think so.
There's still time to retrieve our position with a little luck, a little leverage.
I hope you're right, Roscoe.
It would surprise you if I managed to recover all or most of this loan, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Miss Callahan, get me George Quartermain.
Yes, sir.
Don't start icing the champagne yet. You're still a long way from the presidency of this bank.
They tell me they can't reach Mr. Quartermain, but Stanley Inchbeck, his assistant, is available.
I'll get him. Put him on.
Good luck.
Inchbeck.
Inchbeck.
Roscoe, what can I do for you?
I'm trying to locate George.
He's in Costa Rica.
Oh? Well, I'd like to talk to him. Is there a number where he can be reached?
Nope. He left instructions he doesn't want to be disturbed.
Well, this is urgent.
Well, tell me.
Very well. We're calling in our loan. I'm advising you now. A formal written notice will follow in tonight's mail.
You can't be serious.
I'm entirely serious.
But why?
I think you can guess. I also believe that you wouldn't want me to go into the reasons on the telephone.
Well, your bank's being ridiculous.
Well, I'm looking at a 75-page report. At random, does the name Horizon Land Company ring any kind of a bell? The figure 80 million?
It's totally unreasonable for you people to call in the loan this way.
We don't keep that kind of cash on hand. You must know that.
Well, we'd agree to a series of payments starting immediately.
But I'll talk to George. He isn't going to like this.
I'm not too happy about it myself.
And I'll get back to you.
You do that.
Roscoe?
Yes?
Are you calling in that separate loan to
Q Investments? The stock's almost doubled since the Amsterdam takeover. You do remember that Amsterdam deal, don't you, Roscoe? You were very helpful.
I'll discuss it with George.
Yes, sir?
Could you get me the latest quotes on Q Investments, Miss Callahan?
Yes, sir. Just a moment. Mr. Hayward, that's 36 and a half.
Thank you. 36.5 multiplied by 2,000. $73,000.
Yes? Yes, Mr. Quartermain. Just called. I'll be out of the country by midnight.
The big news in the financial world comes out of New York, where the multi-billion-dollar conglomerate Supranational, or Sonatco as it's known, has failed to open for trading with the rest of the market on the New York Stock Exchange. The reason given was, quote, an order imbalance, unquote, which is generally taken to mean that they are so swamped in sell orders that an orderly market in shares cannot be maintained. Insiders expect the Securities and Exchange Commission to announce an investigation within the next 24 hours.
Margot.
On a brighter note. Oh, what?
The spaghetti just hit the fan.
Oh, what is it?
Sonatco just went down the drain.
No, the mortgage remains constant. See, these figures reflect both the depreciation of the building plus the amortization of the new equipment.
Well, that's terrific. I told Jules the other day, you're working out real good. You need to stay away from loan sharks. You'll be all right.
Mousy, baby, we got a little emergency, kid.
What's the problem?
Got an old guy upstairs. They put him in 201. All you gotta do is look after him. Keep him here. Don't let him out of your sight.
You mean I'm supposed to keep him here by force?
No, you don't need force. He's okay. He knows the score. He's an old pro.
Yeah, he smells more like an old goat.
He's been on a bender for a week. It wouldn't hurt to clean him up a little.
I really get the nice jobs around here.
And don't give him any booze. He may ask for it, but don't give him any. Huh?
Oh, what's his name?
Don't matter.
Well, I gotta call him something.
Call him Danny.
Hello?
You know who this is, but don't use names.
Yes.
Tell our mutual friend I've discovered something important here. I might have the break we need soon. Tell him that.
All right.